Hey guys, it's Sebastian from AR Lures, and today I want to talk to you about fluorocarbon and more especially knots with fluorocarbon. A lot of people will use a polymer knot with their fluorocarbon, and it's not a bad thing, but fluorocarbon is very fragile when it comes to knot. It's abrasive resistant, has less memory, it's invisible in the water, but when it comes to knot, fluorocarbon gets really finicky. A lot of people still use the polymer knot when it comes to fluorocarbon, and today I'm going to show you two different knots. One that I use on jigs when I'm flipping with straight fluorocarbon or just a fluorocarbon leader in clear water, and the second knot I'm going to show you is a knot I use when I drop shot with fluorocarbon. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my hook and my tag in and pass it through. Like a polymer knot, I want to double my line, so I'm going to take my tag in and pass it back through a loop, the eye of the hook. Now I've doubled my line. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my tag in here and just create a loop and hold it in my dirty fingers here. Sorry, I worked on my engine today. Now I'm going to hold the hook while I got my tag in and created the loop with my other hand, and I'm going to grab my finger and wrap it around. That's what's key here. 3 times. 2, 3. So once this is done, I'm going to take this tag in and pass it through the loop I made there. And this is key when you're doing a knot with fluorocarbon, is you gotta give her, spit at it, do whatever you gotta do, give her. Don't be shy. No one's looking when you're fishing. What happens is when you're cinching a knot with fluorocarbon, braid, or mono, you'll create friction, and you'll feel it sometimes. Your knot gets hot. So you need to put saliva on this. So once I'm cinched, I like to pull on each tag in to make sure it's all done. Now it's all cinched. What's going to happen is I got 2 tag ends, the loop and the main line tag end, and my line to the knot. I'm going to take my scissor. Doesn't matter which order you go through. Bigger tag in, I'm going to cut it. Now I can cut my loop here. Do some little finishing touch. Once this is cut, you got your knot. Give it a try. I don't have a name for that knot. I was having a lot of issues with just polymer knot and breaking off at the knot using fluorocarbon. Since I've used that knot, my confidence went 200% through the roof. I'm not shy flipping and worrying about breaking it. This is an amazing knot when you're using fluorocarbon on a jig. Very stiff knot. Now, for the second knot today, a lot of people know I like to drop shot, and drop shot is one of my favorite technique. And people sometimes just don't like to fish with drop shot because it involves a lot of re-rigging. Your hook doesn't stand straight, or we're using very small hooks, so the bass, probably bit on the line, you're not confident, you want to retie. So I'm going to show you a very simple knot. And again, it's not the polymer knot. I don't like using the polymer knot when I'm drop shotting with my line and the hook. It's pulling 2 different ways. Again, you're squeezing that line and it's cutting itself. So what I'm going to do, when I'm drop shotting, here's the drop shot rig. It's a modified knot. It's a kind of like a polymer knot, but there's a lot more strength to it. So I'm going to take my tag in, put it through the eye of the hook. Again, I'm going to double my line, just like a polymer knot. Now I've doubled my line. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pass it around, pinch it on my fingers. Now I create a loop here. Now I'm going to take my finger through, grab that loop, and do this 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Notice this time I'm inside the loop, not around. Now, just like a polymer knot, I'm going to take that tag end that's a loop and pass it around the hook. Again, I got to go at it. Get to town when you do this, guys. It's key, especially when you're using fluorocarbon. Now, what I like to do is, those knots is I like, when I got my line double, is I like to pull on just one strand at a time to make sure my knot's done everywhere. And now we're done. So now you can see, I can make my hook stand. Once I got this, I grab my main line and the tag end where my weight would go is going to go through the eye of the hook. Imagine this being the weight. Now you have your hook that's standing straight all day. You won't have any issue here. It's a very, very strong line. And again, I don't have a name for that knot either. But give it a try and see how you feel. You'll notice you're going to retire a lot less. Once you get a fish on drop shot on a polymer knot, you're fighting the fish, and you'll see it creates a weak link here. With this technique, you'll notice your hook will still be standing when you're done. And this is your tip of the week with AR Lure, and I hope you can put it into practice, and tune in next week and we'll give you more tips. You have a good day.